This is the Godzilla Apocalypse podcast. I am here with two special guests today. I'm here with Jaden, my oldest son. Say hello, Jaden.
Hello.
And Carter, my younger son. Carter.
Hey.
And we have a topic that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. We've talked about it, we've joked about it, we've had lots of fun with it. And that being, which Godzilla is the most powerful of all of the Godzillas in every series, in every universe that's possible. And first of all, I think that it's better to start off with the losers, with the ones that do not get that title, because I think that way we can build the case for why it is that the one that we chose is the most powerful. So number one, to surprise people, I'm going to start off with one you might think is the most powerful, Godzilla Earth. And I'm going to say that no, Godzilla Earth is not the most powerful, because even though he has lots of capabilities and he's almost indestructible in every way, and that he has almost unlimited power, he's still not the most powerful. He's very slow, and I would say that his abilities actually are limited to an extent, even though he's an evolving type of Godzilla. Another one. Jaden, what's another one of the ones that's not the most powerful of the Godzillas?
Godzilla in Hell.
Godzilla in Hell. What's your case for that?
Even though it's supposed to be the most powerful, Godzilla can teleport, has a super duper powerful beam that can destroy the moon and stuff. He just doesn't get it.
He just doesn't get it.
He just doesn't get it.
He's just not the most powerful.
He's just not the most powerful. Yeah.
Carter, do you have one that is not the most powerful?
Two.
Give us two.
Shin Godzilla and Legendary Godzilla. Those are both really powerful.
They're both really powerful, but they're not the most powerful?
Yeah. Shin Godzilla can do a lot of things, but he can't do a lot of things also. Same as Legendary Godzilla. Because he can't really communicate with humans.
Yeah, I think that is a significant limiting factor. King gives some things away by saying that, but yeah, you're right. He cannot communicate with humans.
There's a lot of other reasons also. There's a lot.
So, another one that you might be suspecting right now is Godzilla Minus One. Nope. Not Godzilla Minus One. He's even though he has probably the most powerful atomic blast out of all of them, he's still very limited with his healing capabilities, as we see that he can get very, very severely injured even when he uses atomic blast.
I mean, he can regenerate really fast and well, but yeah, he gets beat up a lot. Using his atomic blast brings him down to his muscles. Yeah.
And I think that with Shin, it would take him a few more evolutions or something before he could become the most powerful, because the short arms are limiting.
Yeah.
He's slow. He's clumsy. I mean, he's probably the clumsiest of all the Godzillas. But he does have a lot of powers, though. They're very fascinating. His radar ability and his atomic blast is incredible. He's just a very, very fascinating one, but still not the most powerful of all the Godzillas. Godzilla 98. Is that it? I said to throw that in there. Of course, Godzilla 98 is not the most powerful.
Yeah, definitely the weakest. The original Godzilla would probably beat him.
Yeah, the original probably would. Which the original, by the way, is not the most powerful of all the Godzillas. Even though that is close, who wants to reveal which Godzilla is the most powerful?
All three of us at one time.
1, 2, 3. Showa Godzilla. Now, when we say Showa Godzilla, clarity, we said the original is not, because there is more than one Showa Godzilla. Yeah. The original definitively dies. At least that's what we're led to believe. The original Showa Godzilla is killed off in the first movie, and another one replaces him. Now, I would contest that there's 3 Showa Godzillas, possibly, because the second Showa Godzilla ends up really changing in his personality from the time that he debuts in Godzilla Raids Again up until, I don't know, around Godzilla versus Hedorah. And I think that ultimately the third iteration of Showa Godzilla is probably the most powerful. Jaden, you look like you're itching to say something.
Yep. Manila Godzilla.
Why do we call him Manila Godzilla?
Because because of the drastic like personality change, it just seems more like Manila's personality. So that's our theory that that's Manila.
Yeah, and the reason why that's our theory is because there's some time lapses and stuff within the Showa series. And I actually heard a theory that some people think that the Godzilla, I'm trying to think of when they said that it would have started. It's either Hedorah or in Godzilla versus Megalon. There's a theory that that one is a grown-up version of Manila. Thus, the drastic change in personality. And plus, what we are calling Manila Godzilla is actually able to communicate with humans, right, Carter? Which one do you communicate with humans in?
Godzilla versus Hedorah.
Yeah, that he communicated telepathically with a kid, right?
Yeah. Because he put whatever he wanted to say into the person's mind. So if he wanted to communicate with someone, and I think he could also hear words and know what that meant.
Yeah, it's fascinating because we mentioned about Shin Godzilla that he's very, very limited, but one of his evolutions was actually going to be to evolve into not just one Godzilla, but a bunch of Godzilla people, basically. Yeah. Which, by the way, it is confirmed that they are doing a Shin Godzilla 2, so it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
But think about this. Showa Godzilla, and the Shin Godzilla being, his intent was to evolve into an army of Godzilla people, shows that he understood that humanity, that their strength is their numbers and their ability to be able to work together as a team on different tasks, and so that's what Godzilla was going to do. Now imagine this, a Godzilla that doesn't need to evolve into people, but rather has the ability to communicate and coordinate with people, and that's kind of what we were seeing in Godzilla versus Hedorah, and that may very well be, now mind you, partly you have to say, you know what, I don't care about the continuity so much as far as the timeline, because they jump around, because Destroy All Monsters is supposed to be way in the future. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, I don't know when that's supposed to take place. Terror of Mechagodzilla is sometime after that. Megalon, Gigan, all that. I mean, the timeline's so messed up that it's really hard to keep track of where they actually are inside of the timeline. And so at some point you just have to say, you know what, I don't even care about where they are as far as continuity and timeline, that I'm just saying that after this point in the series, this is where Manila Godzilla takes over. And what sorts of powers does Manila Godzilla have, Jaden?
First of all, he can communicate with that kid, for one. For two, he can fly with his atomic breath. Because instead of his atomic breath that he used, it looked like he somehow used it as a thruster instead of a beam. And then after that, he does what we call a tail slide drop kick, where he waddles backwards, like when Jet Jaguar is holding back Megalon, and he's waddling back, and then he somehow jumps forward and lands his feet into Megalon.
Yeah, and it wasn't a normal jump. It was like defying physics sort of jump, where he's flying in a straight line, and it's the laws of physics are not even pulling him down. Gravity's not even pulling him down. He just flies straight across into his chest. Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Carter, you have any powers of Manila Godzilla that he has missed?
Oh, he can put his hand in the Hedorah without making himself melt.
More or less, yeah. So he's very durable.
Yeah.
So think about this. He's more durable than Godzilla -1. He has the powers that Jaden just listed. On top of that, he has the ability to turn his body into a magnet. That is how he defeats Mechagodzilla. He turns his body into a magnet. How? Don't think about it. It's just, don't worry about how he turned his body into a magnet. He got struck by lightning, and somehow his body is magnetized so powerfully that it's able to draw in a robot that's 200-foot tall robot, can pull him into him. I mean, that is a crazy ability. that he has to be able to combat enemies with. And not only that, but also surrounding architecture as well, that he pulled that in with his magnetic ability too.
Mm-hmm.
So he has the ability to do that. And I have a theory. In Godzilla vs. Megalon because they never explain how Jet Jaguar was able to grow. My theory in Godzilla vs. Megalon is that Manila Godzilla, gave Jet Jaguar the ability to grow. Why do I think that? Well, tell me why Jet Jaguar was able to grow. We don't know. Technologically, the creator of Jet Jaguar was shocked that Jet Jaguar was able to grow. So how did he grow? That was the person that designed him. How did he grow? Carter, you're trying to raise your hand there. What do you got?
I wanted to say that he could do a pulse attack and it healed his whole body.
Wait, Manila Godzilla did?
Yeah.
Oh, he did like that little like putting up his fists, and then he like his body like lit up, and that's when he became the magnet.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh. And also his body healed.
You know what? I actually missed that. You're right. His body did heal up after he did that magnetic field pulse, whatever thing that he did. Yeah, so I didn't even catch that. Yeah, so that's one more thing. But go ahead, Jaden.
And also he can take like Mechagodzilla's all-out blast for like 10 minutes, like in a row.
Yes, yeah, like
in both movies.
Yeah, he does an all-out strike against Godzilla in both of the Mechagodzilla movies, and Godzilla just runs through it. Beat up afterwards, but he just runs right through it, and then a minute later, he's perfectly fine. But all these things we mentioned about his powers pale in comparison to his most powerful power, and that's simply that Showa Godzilla can do whatever he needs to do to win any fight. What can explain him flying? I don't know. What can explain him doing this magnetic power? I don't know. What can explain... You know, I'm going to attribute this to him as well. What can explain the fact that Katsura was damaged in Terror of Mechagodzilla to short-circuit Mechagodzilla right in the middle of Godzilla's battle with him? I don't know. I mean, there's all these things that line up just perfectly every single time that Manila Godzilla fights that gives him the edge, and it makes no sense whatsoever. Carter?
And he also made Mechagodzilla not be able to work anymore until he was fixed just by shooting his atomic blast.
Yeah. And in Terror of Mechagodzilla, after he gets blasted by the second head of Mechagodzilla, that it looks like he's KO'd, but then he stands up and boom, he's fine. He's perfectly fine again. It's like, okay, well, he wasn't really hurt after all. Or, I mean, you can go on so many times, so many instances where it's like, he was okay. Godzilla versus Gigan, we haven't mentioned that one yet, but you know what? After he goes down in that, like after he gets thrown into that building, voila, he's fine again. Like, he's more powerful than ever now. It's like you can't stop him. So he is literally able to do whatever he needs to do to be able to win a fight, even if that means manipulating other characters. For instance, he helped the humans in Godzilla vs. Hedorah. He gave Jet Jaguar, again, I am proclaiming this, that he gave Jet Jaguar the ability to grow. He caused the humans to figure out that, hey, if we damage Katsura, then Mechagodzilla is useless. All these things, okay? I mean, time and time again, there's always just a ridiculous moment where something happens that makes no sense. The magnetic power of Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. None of it makes any sense, but it happens. And why does it happen? I think it happens solely because of Showa Godzilla's, Manila Godzilla's ability to be able to do whatever he needs to do to win any fight.
And I didn't see any Godzillas grabbing anything, and I saw Godzilla grabbing Mechagodzilla's head and twisting it off.
That's actually a very keen observation, because not only is he able to do whatever he needs to do to win a fight, but also he's a lot smarter than the other Godzillas too. As you see that he has near human intelligence. I mean, if this Godzilla had fought King Kong and King Kong versus Godzilla, King Kong wouldn't have stood a chance in that one.
He's got like full-fledged like just punches.
Yes, I mean he has WWE, MMA, every martial arts like karate, every type of fighting style mastered. I mean, he's just the most remarkable of all the Godzillas that there are. I know that lots of people don't like him because they consider him to be in more childish versions of Godzilla movies. But if you take him for what he is a really, really remarkable version of Godzilla. And when you start putting it together that, you know what, maybe he isn't like the other Godzillas. Maybe he is a little bit different. And you start making these connections and say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and go all in and say that, yes, this Godzilla is Manila. And this is what Manila turned into. And Manila, through the shepherding of the older Godzilla, that he was able to learn those fighting styles. But we also see that Manila, early on in Son of Godzilla, interacted with humans. And so he has this connection with humans as well as with Godzilla. And so we see that he has the best of both worlds. So even though he's a little bit dorky at first, but in the end, he's being groomed to be an unstoppable force, really, when you think about it. And what we also learn in Godzilla versus Destroya, I know that's Heisei, not Showa, but we see that when the island blew up, Godzilla absorbed all that, and baby Godzilla absorbed a lot of that and grew up a little bit into his junior form. And we also see that when Burning Godzilla goes full meltdown, that he actually gives his radiation to Junior Godzilla, who's almost dead, and it revives him and takes him to his next form with the full-grown maple leaf-looking spikes. So, okay, think about that for a minute. So let's say that older Showa Godzilla number 2, dies. And then he gives his power to Manila, who's already grown up quite a ways by this point. So Manila, already having all this crazy knowledge, then absorbs the power of the past Godzilla and becomes just an unstoppable, unbeatable fighting force with abilities that go far beyond any of the Godzillas that we've seen even up to this point. Yes, including Godzilla in Hell, including Godzilla Earth, and any other Godzillas. So, closing comments, guys. Jaden, you want to... Carter, you go first.
I think in Showa Godzilla, like in one of the Showa Godzilla movies, in Godzilla vs. Gigan, I don't know. No, it's interesting that Godzilla acted like he was getting whooped, and then decided to just kick the crap out of Gigan.
Yes, that was impressive. And then Ghidorah as well. Yes. So, limitless power.
Yeah. Showa Godzilla, if he went up against Godzilla and Hell, what he'd do, he'd just get more powerful than him. Like, it will just happen because he'll just have to figure out how to beat him in the moment, and then he'll figure it out, like, just like that. And to beat Godzilla Earth, he's going to do exactly what Jet Jaguar did to Megalon. Shh, ding, whoop, 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 and shoot up to as tall as Godzilla Earth, and then he'll beat the crap out of him.
You know, you stole my thunder there. I was actually going to mention I was going to say, what about Godzilla Earth? Well, that's what I think you would do too. I think you would just do a Jet Jaguar thing and grow to his size. As ridiculous as that sounds. But that's the fun thing about Manila Godzilla is Manila Godzilla can be whatever you want him to be. Because he can do whatever he needs to do to win any fight, no matter who he's up against. I mean, I haven't seen him lose a fight yet. So, again, like I said, Manila Godzilla can be whatever you want him to be. And I think that's the whole fun of it. That's probably why Terror of Mechagodzilla is my second favorite. Second, third. It's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. I can't remember anymore.
And I think that he actually knew it was Mechagodzilla. I just think he was acting like it was Godzilla.
Yes. I think that's fair enough. Well, this has been the Godzilla Apocalypse podcast. I'd like to thank you for joining us for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The end is here.